Early evening and welcome to another edition of What I Miss. What I Miss is made possible by a generous grant from the Ben and Sylvia Gardner Foundation. Today is Wednesday, February 4th. I'm drinking Irish breakfast tea. And I'm speaking a little bit quietly today because I had some childcare issues and a napping one nearby. So turn up your volume if you can't hear me. Kicking straight off into last night, we heard about a new Turkish restaurant, Ottoman Taverna, opening up at 4th and I Street Northwest in Mount Vernon Square. This is by the owner of Alba Osteria and also right next door. In more exciting news, in my opinion, a new beer garden is coming to Noma at 150 M Street Northeast. Should be ready in springtime, and we hope to learn more after a couple meetings coming up soon. Pizza Parts and Service has closed on 8th Street Northeast. At first, it wasn't sure if it was temporarily closed or not, but then somebody sent me a link to a site that shows it for sale. The business that is $333,000 with a $4,000 monthly rent. Interesting to know. But we will see what the full story is there. They tweeted yesterday they will share more info ASAP, but nothing new has come out yet. This is the former Taylor Charles and Steak Ice cheesesteak place that failed last year, a couple years ago. Solid Core, the gym that has a pretty solid, pun intended, following in Adams Morgan is closing February 27th due to a dispute with their landlord. Fortunately, they have 4 or 5 other locations around the city. Probably for most readers here, there's one in Shaw. The Heights, which sold recently in Columbia Heights, has a new $5 pint special, a $5 fat tire. First glass you get to take home with you if you'd like. So that's pretty cool. In the less cool Columbia Heights retail news is the former Uptowner Cafe in the Tivoli is becoming a Verizon store. A neighbor writes in, a reader writes in about very noisy neighbors, and it is rather depressing in terms of how to get this resolved. In other depressing news, one of the coolest museums in the city, the USS, or the former USS Barry, in Navy Yard is being scrapped, so it will be removed by October. It was so cool. It was sort of a time capsule. If you've never been in, and you could walk all over the ship. I went one Saturday and there were like 2 people in the whole thing, but hopefully you had a chance to check it out because it was cool, and it will be sad to lose it because it was such a prominent point. If you were at Yards Park, you could always see that ship in the distance, so that's too bad. Oh, this is nuts. Somebody emailed me this. I don't know how I missed this and waited till now, but apparently over the weekend, a rather well-to-do family left their children in the car intentionally because they were going to a wine tasting. It was like 35 degrees out. They didn't have any hats or gloves. They had jackets on. But the father said, no, it was okay because we had an open line on a cell phone. It's just like, what? That's a shake your head. SMH. Oh, geez, this was crazy. Linebacker from the Indianapolis Colts was in D.C. last night trying to park around 12th and U Street Northwest and got into a fight, allegedly. So he was arrested over an alleged assault for a parking space, 12th and U Street Northwest. Crazy things that happen. Hue and Cry is a men's clothing store that is coming to Navy Yard in the Boilermaker shops. So that's a nice retail addition to Navy Yard. Unfortunately, more bad news for Columbia Heights. Rita wrote in about walking up 14th Street last night and had her cell phone snatched right out of her hands by a dude riding on his bike. So, be careful if you're talking on the phone. But that's just a shitty situation. Sorry it happened to her. And finally, in happy news, the Funk Parade needs you. These are the guys who are trying to do the Funk Parade on U Street this year. They're going to film a promo video on Saturday, and they're looking for some people to be in it. So check out the details on the site. That is it for the today. I hope you get home safely and Metro's on time. See you tomorrow, where I will hopefully be speaking louder.